After an election loss like this, I think there is a tendency for the winners to overstate the size of their win and the losers to perhaps be a little bit too far down in the doldrums. But now we have a little bit of distance, Nathan. What is Biden's legacy?
So Biden's legacy, I'll tell you what I think Biden's legacy should be. I think Biden's legacy should be of a man who deeply cared about his country, who was deeply committed to his country, who for decades took the train from Wilmington to D.C. every day so he could get to work, but also go back home and stay with his family. I think he has a tremendous, he's deserved a tremendous legacy. However, I don't know if he's going to get that because first, his unpopularity was historic, and that was a major factor for Kamala Harris. It was very hard for her to distance herself from an epically unpopular president. And then second, he's been mostly silent since the election. He hasn't done much in terms of fulfilling the role of an executive. No. And then third is the Hunter Biden pardon.
Yeah, I think absolutely. But also, I mean, when you talk about should we really be rewarding leaders such as Biden for intention rather than outcome? Because we've got to look at outcome in the end. We can have all the best intentions in the world, but if you can't execute and can't bring people with you, you failed.
Well, I guess that is true, although there are certain things that are just beyond our control, and they're beyond the control of the president of the United States. The economy, for example, inflation. Inflation was a global problem. It affected every country in the world. And the United States actually did relatively well in inflation with respect to the rest of the world. However, domestically, it was just a drastic issue for Joe Biden. And it's something that he really couldn't overcome in the end.
All right, let's talk 2028. Why not? We're just at the end of 2024. So let's throw forward to 2028, because I think by then Democrats might be in a little bit more of an optimistic headspace, but who knows? Donald Trump can't run again unless he changes the Constitution. I think that's very unlikely, and he would find it very hard to do so. So who wins? Does Kamala run again?
It's against whether Kamala runs again. It depends on what she does in the interim. If she runs for governor of California, and if she's relatively successful, I would bet she runs again. But I don't think she'll win because she doesn't exit this race with a tremendous amount of goodwill in the party. And there are other rising stars that are mostly outside of D.C. They're mostly governors. Governor Shapiro from Pennsylvania, Governor Moore from Maryland, Governor Whitmer from Michigan. Those are three absolute superstars in the party, and I think the Democratic Party will. What we've seen for elections for decades is that people choose outsiders; they rarely choose insiders. And so, somebody like a governor would be perfectly poised to win the nomination in 28.
Nathan, we will leave it there. Thank you so much for your time this year. It's been my great pleasure. We will see you next year. We hope. Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much.
All the best to you and your family.